Hey, what is up, everybody? I am here to give you my WWE Wrestlemania 32 preview slash predictions. WrestleMania 32 is in 48 hours, Sunday night, and it has a start time of 6 o'clock. And I can't believe it's finally happening. I can't believe WrestleMania is about to happen this Sunday. It feels like it was just yesterday. It was WrestleMania 31. And now all the way to next year to WrestleMania 32. And as you can tell, my background's a lot different. You know, I'm in a completely different scenery. That's because I'm actually in Texas, because I'm actually going to WrestleMania 32, which I'm really excited for. This was something I really wanted to do. And I'll get explaining to you why as this video progresses. And I'm really happy I actually get to do it. I can't believe it. I'm actually doing it. Because this is a moment, an experience that a lot of people that are wrestling fans crave for. A lot of people, want to go to WrestleMania, and not a lot of people get to do that. A lot, they try and try, but then they never get that chance. And I get that chance to go to WrestleMania. And I'm really looking forward to that. So in this preview and predictions, I am going to talk about some positive stuff and some negative stuff. But I'm going to look at WrestleMania a little bit into a positive itself, because not a lot of people are doing that. My positives are obviously going to be different since I'm actually going to the show. My positives are obviously going to be different. Which, is fine. I guess a positive's a positive, right? So let me talk about what's been going on with this build up for this show, because to me this is probably the most built up to a show that I've ever could get since I'm actually going to this show, and I'll explain what made me want to go to this show, what happened, and everything. So really, it started for me last year. Last year after WrestleMania 31, we had heard the announcement that Vincent Kennedy McMahon wanted to break the WrestleMania 3 attendance record that he had set from 93,000 and a little bit over fans, and he wanted to break the WrestleMania attendance record for WrestleMania 32 when it goes into AT&T Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys play. And I was legitimately excited for that. I didn't think they were going to do it. WrestleMania 3, that broke the attendance record for a reason, because of what was there on that show and all that stuff. But then I heard that they were going to throw all of their superstars on there, all top stars. They were going to try to go all in for this WrestleMania. They were going to try to have John Cena there. They were going to try to have Sting show up, Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin even wrestle a match. The Rock even maybe showing up and wrestling a match. Possibly having Ronda Rousey show up, Mick Foley. They were going to even put in their new stars like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. They even had Kevin Owens in the fold. They had Bray Wyatt. They had, Big Show, Kane. A lot of big stars were going to be at this show. A lot of top stars. This was going to be a star-studded WrestleMania. There was even the possibility of a Daniel Bryan return. They even started really hyping up Cesaro. So they were going all in. They had Sheamus, Barrett. They were going all in for this WrestleMania. And they were gonna even have Brock Lesnar too. I forgot to mention he was the most important one. I didn't just come with it, randomly. What happened was since 2009, when I sat down and watched my first live WrestleMania, I was like, this would be something cool to go to. So I would always talk about it I'd like to go to a WrestleMania one day. We thought about going to WrestleMania 30, but since we were going to be graduated from high school, but it would have been too risky. So WrestleMania 30 just wasn't going to happen, so we couldn't make WrestleMania 30 happen. So then, in August of 2015, I was watching Monday Night Raw one night. It was the night that Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker had their big brawl. And I was kind of just kind of had like a thought, you know. I'm out of high school now. Um, I'm gonna be 20. I was 19 at the time, but now I'm 20. Um, I don't really, I mean, even though I'm in college and stuff, but I can miss a few days of college. I want to go to WrestleMania. I want to do something big when I turn 20. Like maybe I should have waited till I was 21 since I'm legally able to drink and all that stuff. But I don't know. I wanted to do it when I was 20. I wanted to do it right then and there, and I put my mind to it, and I really wanted to make this work. So we talked about all this stuff that we were gonna do. Me and my friend Steve Ezekiel was supposed to go together, but then he had to back out because he couldn't afford it, and he kind of lost interest in wrestling in general. So it didn't work out with him. So then we had a problem where I didn't have anybody to go with. And this kind of started happening after I bought my tickets. And I can tell you how much money right now I paid for my tickets. Let me pull it up on my computer real quick. Okay, so I paid, and this is no lie, for 2 tickets, I spent $841.19. That's how much I paid for 2 tickets to WrestleMania. I paid $841.19. I paid over $800 for this show. You know, which was a mistake for me to do because then I could have gotten the travel packages, but I was really impatient and wanted to get my tickets. I saw the opportunity to jump on it, and of course a week later they announced the travel packages, and yeah, they just decided to fuck me over kind of, because then I couldn't go to all the other stuff. I was really worried about that. So then we just decided to buy everything separately, but then we came in talks and we said that we don't want to miss school. Well, I don't want to miss too much of school because I would miss a lot of school. So we're like, you know what? Why don't we just go to like the events that I think are big, and what I really want to go to. So the events I picked were the Hall of Fame and WrestleMania itself. Those are the 2 events I picked because I'm not just here to go to WrestleMania. I'm also here to because I have some family down here, like I talked about in this video. So I'm also here to visit them. So I thought, the Hall of Fame is gonna be a really unique experience to go to because it's a different type of wrestling event. It's a very dressy event, so I thought that would be really cool to go to, and WrestleMania itself, obviously, because if only I had known NXT TakeOver Dallas was gonna be here at the time when I picked this, because then I would have been like, well, can we just pick these 3 events since I'm gonna be there Friday anyways? But that didn't really work out. I really wish I could have made that jump, and I'm probably not going to be able to watch NXT TakeOver Dallas until I come back, because unless things go up differently. So then but then there were points even when this trip where I thought it wasn't going to be able to happen. When my friend Steve Ezekiel backed out, I thought I was going to have to sell my WrestleMania tickets and not be able to go at all. So then I kind of had to talk to people about it, and I was really upset about it. And I really didn't want to sell these tickets. I really wanted to try to make this work. And my family was trying to say that it's just not realistic. So then what happened was my uncle was originally going to go with me, but then he got a new job, so he can't take too much time off. So I was like, well, my aunt was going to go with me, her husband, but but then she can't go now either. I forget why. So then my uncle that lives here is going with me. So that's awesome. And I think this is why it's more unbelievable, because it's been such a struggle to make this trip work, and then I'm happy that it's finally gonna work. And as everybody knows, throughout the month of February going on, I've been dealing with a lot of bullshit drama that no one should have to go through. I'm not even gonna get into it. But I had to deal with that, so this was the one thing I wanted to work. The one thing. A lot of stuff hasn't kind of gone my way. since February, and this was the one thing that needed to work. And I'm happy that it's gonna work. And even though, my interest in wrestling, I think it's probably gone down since about last year. Even though when they gave Sheamus the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, they're doing things I really don't agree with. It's still going. I'm still get to go to WrestleMania as a wrestling fan. So what am I really complaining about? A lot of people don't get to do this. A lot of people don't get this opportunity. And I busted my ass working at a landscaping company to do this, and I really want to do this. No matter how poor, because it's been poorly built up, I'll admit that. No matter how poorly built up this WrestleMania has been, no matter all the shit that I've gone through, I'm going to put that all aside for that one night and just go there and just have fun with this wrestling event. And there's like a lot. There's still positives about this show. That you can look. If you really look deep, there is good things about this show. That's awesome. Let me talk about it. Now, I'll try to talk about it as if you were watching it on the network /TV /pay-per-view or /live stream. So that way I'm not completely doing it on me. So here's some things that could be good for WrestleMania 30, that look good for WrestleMania 32. Yes, they lost a lot of their top stars since then. They really did. That did suck. They lost Sting due to an injury. They lost John Cena due to an injury, and this is going to be the first time ever that John Cena is going to miss WrestleMania. The face of the WWE. They lost Cesaro. They lost Tyson Kidd. They lost Daniel Bryan. Ended up having to retire. They lost Seth Rollins, which really hurt them because he was going to probably go into this show as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. They lost now Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper. Who else did they lose due to an injury? They almost lost Sin Cara. They didn't have the Lucha Dragons. They lost Randy Orton due to a shoulder injury. They lost. Who else did they lose for the show? Because it says it on the build-up thing on Wikipedia. Hold on, let me just find it. Because I need to make sure I have everybody that they've lost, because they lost a lot of guys. Nikki Bella, one of their top divas. They lost Neville just before WrestleMania. They were gonna really probably do something with him. And the attendance record, by the way, is 93,173. So, they lost a lot of the top stars due to injuries / suspensions, anything. Titus O'Neil, they lost due to suspension, which is their own fault. So, they lost a lot of top stars, but they still have stars. They still have good top stars. They have Triple H. Triple H they still have. Triple H is going into the show as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And Triple H, even though he wasn't the biggest name in the Attitude Era, he was a big name in the Attitude Era. He was a big name in the Ruthless Aggression Era. He's a huge name to have right now at WrestleMania. He's on the show. He's the biggest probably heel in the company right now. He's on the show every week. You got Triple H. You got The Undertaker at WrestleMania. You got The Undertaker. Have an Undertaker at WrestleMania, even though there's no streak, is still huge, and that's still huge in itself. You got Brock Lesnar, and anytime Brock Lesnar's on a pay-per-view, that ups the pay-per-view a lot, because anytime Brock Lesnar's on, shit gets real, and he's a big pay-per-view draw because of the UFC, because he's been in the UFC, and all that other stuff. You still have Shane McMahon. You got Shane McMahon on this show. A guy that you never thought you would see at a WrestleMania, probably ever again. You've got Shane McMahon on this show. That's fucking huge. You got Shane McMahon. You got you got the Dudley Boys back at WrestleMania. One of the best tag team all over the world. The guy these tag teams won championships all over the world in WWE, ECW. Well, technically not WCW, but they've been WCW tag team champions. Um, TNA. They've won titles all over the world. They've competed all over the world, and this is their first WrestleMania back. I believe since 20. Since WrestleMania 20. This is going to be the first WrestleMania seeing the Dudley Boys. You got Chris Jericho on this show. Chris Jericho's a huge name to have, and Chris Jericho, he's still a big name. You got AJ Styles, a guy that's wrestled all over the world, a guy that's made his name in TNA, a guy that went back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor. You got AJ motherfucking Styles. And then you got this is going to be his first WrestleMania. Who else do you got on this show? You got some decent new stars that are going to be in big spots. You got Dean Ambrose, who is going to be facing Brock fucking Lesnar. That's a huge spot to be in right now. You know who else have the show? You also have Ric Flair on the show. And even though Ric Flair is in the Divas title match, which isn't the biggest match on the show, he is going to be in the Divas Championship match. That's going to up the profile of that match, just the fact that he's going to be out there. That's awesome. You have the New Day, who's been a huge name lately. They've been talked about a lot, and they're pretty huge in themselves. You got the New Day. So you do have some decent stars. You probably, and you know who else you're going to have? You were going to have The Rock on this show, a guy that's made his name in Hollywood and is known all over the world. You have The Rock coming back to be on this show. We don't know what he's going to do, and we don't know what The Rock's going to do yet, so that's something unpredictable. You got Stephanie McMahon coming on this show, the daughter and the principal owner of WWE. That's huge. You got Vince McMahon back at WrestleMania. When was the last time Vince McMahon showed up at a WrestleMania? I think the last time was at WrestleMania 26 when he wrestled Bret Hart. You got Vince McMahon showing up at this show. Vince McMahon, I assume he's going to be at this show because of the Cell match. And I think that's huge that you got Vince McMahon showing up on this show because he's the owner of the WWE. You got trying to think who else you have showing up. But like I said, The Rock, there's a possibility that Mick Foley could be there. There's a possibility that Terry Funk could be there because he is in the WrestleMania area because he's having his barbecue. There's a possibility that Stone Cold Steve Austin could be there. There's a since it's in Texas and it's in his hometown. I don't think Stone Cold's going to pass up at showing up at a WrestleMania. There's a possibility that Shawn Michaels could show up. Mr. WrestleMania, the guy also when it's in his hometown as well. The guy that had the best matches at WrestleMania. You have Shawn Michaels showing up at a WrestleMania. So this WrestleMania looks huge. Huge with star power. It is there. Yes, they lost a lot of it. They did lose Cena. They did lose Sting. But you got that star power. You still have those guys. You still have enough star power there where you can say. And you know what? We don't know who else could show up because it's WrestleMania. Hulk Hogan could return for the WWE since he won his lawsuit. Hulk Hogan could show up at WrestleMania. And if Hulk Hogan showed up, that would be enormous considering the fact. And who knows how that could go over? It could go over really well because everyone would be happy to see him back, but then the people would be pissed about it because of all the net stuff because of what he did. We could have obviously we're still gonna have Sting at WrestleMania. He just won't have a match. He'll still be there. The Fabulous Freebirds are gonna be there together for the first time. We're gonna have a lot of people at this WrestleMania. It's going to be huge. And I look at it like this way, too. You have all these matches that are on this show have some type of purpose, have some type of reason for happening. Um, and I'm really happy about that. You have there's not the best reasons, but they've at least tried to build up some sort of a story, some sort of reason for every one of these matches. And I do like that they did that. Now, is it the best build up? No. Some of these matches that are being built up are terrible, but they at least tried to give it a reason, because there's been WrestleManias before where they've just had no reason for certain matches to be there. It's been the smudge, and there is purpose, there is reason to have these matches. I look at it like this too. These matches could deliver. You have a ladder match on this show. We have Dolph, and you have the guys like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, who had a ladder match in New Nirvana that probably won't be, obviously as good then. You have Dolph Ziggler in this ladder match, who likes to who likes to throw caution to the wind in any match and puts it all on the line. You have Sin Cara, who's going to be a good spot fest in this match. You have Stardust, and when Stardust is in a match, it usually delivers. Zack Ryder, he could really surprise us in this ladder match. And then you have the New Day versus the League of Nations. The New Day always delivers in a tag team match. It's usually always a good match. And you have guys in there that they can hold a good match with the New Day, like Barrett, Sheamus, Del Rio, and Rusev. So that match should be fine. You have AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Their 3 matches have delivered. Even though that I hate the fact that they've had 3 matches, this should have been their first match, but they do have practice, and they have, they've had really good matches anyways. So this match really could deliver. This match, I think, could be amazing. Since it's going to be at WrestleMania, Chris Jericho is going to really take this match seriously, and it's going to be AJ Styles versus WrestleMania, so I think this match really will deliver goods. And in a way, you have 2 Divas matches on the show too, which usually the Divas match gets thrown out under the bus at WrestleMania. You have a Divas Championship match, with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks. Now, as much as we can talk about how we hate this, in a way, this does kind of follow that Divas Revolution. You have Charlotte, you have Becky Lynch, you have Sasha Banks, who debuted the night the Divas Revolution started, which was what they called it. And you also have, all of them that are pretty much 3 of the 4 horsewomen on NXT. These were the faces of NXT, and the fact that they're getting a match at WrestleMania for the Divas Championship is huge. And the fact, that this match, that we've seen what they can do. I think we saw them have a match on NXT that was really awesome. Oh no, that's a different match actually. But we saw what they can do in a taste of it when they had that NXT takeover. I believe it was called Rival match, when Sasha actually won the women's title with Bayley involved in the Fatal 4-Way mix. So we've seen a glimpse of this match, and I think this match really could deliver if given the time. And, you have Charlotte being the heel in this match, and you have Becky Lynch, the way she's been built up. They've been all built up pretty damn well. You have Kalisto versus Ryback. They did have a match on SmackDown that delivered. I don't know if it's going to deliver here. I have no clue, but we're going to have to wait and see. I think Kalisto could pull off a good match with Ryback. It is possible, but that match I could see not delivering. The Total Divas, the 10 Diva tag team match with the Total Divas versus Team Bad and Blonde, I don't think will deliver, not going to lie. But at least Natalia's getting a WrestleMania match. Emma's going to be on WrestleMania. When was the last time Emma's been on WWE television? Naomi's going to get a match at WrestleMania, which is well-deserved. So that's a good way to look. So that's something positive to look at. Paige is going to be at WrestleMania. So it gets people on the show. They get a WrestleMania payday out of it. I'm fine with it. We have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, I know it's been a joke, but now the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal does its job. It gets guys on the show, and the Battle Royals are usually pretty fun to watch. I don't really recall them ever having a bad Battle Royal. You're going to have Big Show in the match. You're going to have Kane in the match. You're going to have Mark Henry in the match, which I really want to see what he does. And we could get something with comedy with R-Truth and Goldust, since they've been built into that and they're both in the match. That match could be solid. I don't think it's going to be as fun. But I think it will be solid. I think it's pretty bad to have a bad battle royal. I don't recall ever seeing one. And you also have the Usos versus the Dudley Boys, a tag team from the past going up against a tag team from the present. And this is the first time they've ever had a match. They haven't come to blows. They haven't touched. They haven't had any physical contact with each other. They haven't thrown this match under the bus. And they've actually tried to give this match some type of story by having the Dudley Boys say that they want to be known as the greatest tag team instead of a nostalgia act, and them taking out the Usos. This is actually a pretty big tag team match here, and it's actually not for the titles. They're actually doing a tag team match that has a reason for happening, except for its for championships. So I think that's awesome, and this could possibly really put the Usos over. But then we got the three main matches that I really give a shit about. We have Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell match, where if Shane wins, he gets control of Raw, and if Taker wins, if Taker loses, he has to retire. So we could talk about all the crap that we want about this match. This was awesome that we're gonna get this match because this does feel like a WrestleMania match, and I don't think, with the match itself delivering, that Undertaker and Shane McMahon are going to have a bad Hell in a Cell match at all. This is Undertaker at a WrestleMania. He mainly always delivers at a WrestleMania. He always does something to feel special. I know he's had a few stinkers at WrestleMania, but usually nowadays when it's Undertaker, he usually has at least a good moment in his matches. You have Shane McMahon, who is known for throwing all his body on the line and throwing all caution to the wind when it comes to a match. This is the guy that went through a glass thin at like King of the Ring when he got thrown through the glass, and he didn't just go through it once. He actually got thrown at it a ton of times. This is a guy that did the coast to coast off an ambulance onto Kane. This is a guy that got that throws all body caution to the wind. He's elbowed himself, he elbows himself through the announcer's table. This guy fell 20 feet in the air. So this guy is insane in the ring. This guy will throw all caution to the wind. So this could be a match that will be talked about for the rest of the year, and this could be a match of the year contention. And I can't wait for this match for that reason. Then we have Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar in the No Holds Barred Street Fight. And this match is the best built up match. They've built this up perfectly. Brock Lesnar is a beast. And they've actually really went well with this feud. I think this has been great. Brock Lesnar can't keep Dean Ambrose down. Dean Ambrose wants to beat Brock Lesnar to see if he is the beast. And I think this match has been built up amazingly. I actually think this could be a really good match. And the match is going to be awesome. Brock Lesnar in just a match really feels special. They do a lot. They make Brock Lesnar look unstoppable in this match. And this time you're going to have Brock Lesnar in a match where he can do whatever the fuck he wants. I think will be absolutely awesome. And then you have Dean Ambrose, who is really going to throw all caution to the wind. They've really been building it up that he's going to use a lot of weapons, like the barbed wire baseball bat, chainsaw, crowbar. He's going to go all in. Nunchucks, baseball bats. He is going to go all in, and he could really throw all cylinders involved. You have both guys that when they can do whatever the fuck they want, they can fucking deliver. And you have and I think this match is going to be awesome. I think there will maybe be some blood in this match just because it will feel special. And then we have the main event. And everybody hates this main event. We have Triple H versus Roman Reigns. No DQ match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I like that they turn this into a no disqualification match because after what they did on Raw, I think, and what they've been doing these past few weeks, I think makes sense to do it that way. But they probably could have delivered fine in just a regular one-on-one match. But from what they've been doing, I think they need to have a no disqualification match. I like the fact that Triple H was the champion going into WrestleMania. Everybody hated on it. Everybody crapped on it. But I think it made complete sense just because of what they did with TLC. And I think he was the only logical guy, except for maybe like Brock Lesnar, to go into WrestleMania as a world champion. as the World Heavyweight Champion. Because let's be honest, if Brock Lesnar did go into WrestleMania, we would have just gotten Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns again. Everybody would have shit all over that. And Triple H, I think, is the perfect heel world champion right now. I think he's been great as a heel world champion. And Triple H, when it comes down, the only concern I do have, actually, I'll get to, but and this match I think will be great with the no disqualification stipulation now, where they're gonna go all out on each other. Roman Reigns, I think, will look like an absolute badass in this match, and if they do this match really, really properly, when they make Triple H look like an ultimate heel, and they make Roman Reigns look like a badass, and they make Roman Reigns actually look like that he's fighting with his heart and his soul, they could get Roman Reigns over. Everybody could chant Roman Reigns. I don't know if that will happen, but it could be a possibility where they could either get a mixed reaction, which I'll take at this point, or, Triple H usually too has a special entrance every year at a WrestleMania, so that would be awesome to see. So this match really could deliver. This match actually they've been building up since Survivor Series, even like around the time Rollins got injured. If you really even want to argue, they've been building this since they had the Evolution and the Shield in the fold. So this match they've actually built up months and months in advance. And the way they built it up by having Roman Reigns look like a badass has been awesome. Now let me talk about what I'm looking forward to actually going to WrestleMania. I get to see the New Day live. I've seen them live before on a Monday Night Raw, but I really get to see them live. They're going to be so much fun to see live, and I can't wait to see them live, especially with the trombone. And I hope they get a nice special entrance at a WrestleMania. It's going to be really cool to see a ladder match live. I've seen a ladder match live before, but with what's going to be at stake, even though I hate the fact that they're doing this ladder match again, I'm really looking forward to seeing this ladder match live because it's going to be a great. There's going to be big spots in this match, and they're really going to go all balls in and all cylinders. This is going to be my first time seeing AJ Styles live because I never went to a TNA show, so I never got to see him live there. So this is going to be my first time ever I get to see AJ Styles live, and I think that's awesome. It's actually, so I can't wait to see that, and I can't wait to see him versus Jericho. I haven't seen Chris Jericho live since 2014, so that's going to be awesome. My first time seeing, I believe, Ric Flair live. I don't think I've ever seen Ric Flair live before. So that's pretty cool. I get to see a fucking Hell in a Cell match fucking live. A fucking Hell in a Cell match. Now that's going to be interesting because I've never been to a Hell in a Cell match live. I've been to a steel cage match live before, but not a Hell in a Cell match. Seeing that structure live is going to be awesome. I'm going to take huge photos of that, and I think that's going to be really awesome to see a Hell in a Cell match live. And it's going to be cool because I get to see The Undertaker live at a WrestleMania. Now, even though he doesn't have his undefeated streak anymore, it's still Taker at a WrestleMania. It's still going to feel special. So that's going to be awesome. I've seen The Undertaker live before, but at WrestleMania, I think is really special. I get to see Shane McMahon live, and I get to see him do all that crazy stuff in the Hell in a Cell match. And like I said, I think Undertaker and Shane McMahon, if that's the Hell in a Cell match I get to see live, I'm going to take it. Because I think that match is really going to deliver. I'm looking forward to seeing Brock Lesnar wrestle a match live. Because I've never seen Brock Lesnar. I've seen him live before, but I've never seen him wrestle before. So seeing Brock Lesnar wrestle live is going to be awesome. And I think I may be up close in person. I get to see how much of a beast he really is. It's going to be really awesome. I get to see, a Battle Royal live. That's going to be cool. You don't really get to see Battle Royals live that much. That's pretty cool. And it's just going to be cool to see the atmosphere because the people come from all over the world to go to this show. So I possibly will meet somebody from maybe India, Guatemala, Paraguay. I don't even know if Guatemala is a little place, but Spain, Germany. People are coming from all over the world to see WrestleMania. So the atmosphere of the crowd's going to feel different because these are a really smart wrestling crowd. So the atmosphere of the crowd's going to feel different. And the atmosphere of everything's going to feel different. Just being there, just the experience itself is going to be awesome. Because this is like no other wrestling show. This isn't. This is pretty much like the Super Bowl, like an All-Star game, like the World Series for a wrestling fan, and seeing that live is gonna be really fucking cool. Um, and I for one thing I didn't talk about is I get to go to the Hall of Fame induction the night before. That's gonna feel a really different show. That you get to see a Hall of Fame induction, you get to see all the wrestlers dressed up. I get to get all dressed up to go to a wrestling event. That's gonna be awesome. That is going to be an unforgettable event. That's gonna be a really different event. I can't wait to do that live. I get to see the Fabulous Freebirds get inducted. I get to see Sting get inducted. I get to see oh my gosh, I get to see fucking Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg is going to be inducted, and imagine what his Hall of Fame speech is going to be like. I really hope that he's high, because then that will make it really special. But I get to see, a lot of people dressed up. Maybe I'll get to meet a few wrestlers along the way. I hope anyways, but I doubt it at the same time, and that will be awesome. I'll talk about the negatives. Like I said, this WrestleMania has been really poorly built up with the way they've gone about it. They've had they're not gonna have the tag team titles be defended, which is really stupid. I actually think that's really stupid. The New Day, I think, has done enough. They've made those titles prestigious, where they should be defended at a WrestleMania, either in a fatal 4-way tag team match with the Usos, the Dudleys, and Sheamus and Ken Barrett, or with Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. I think that's really stupid. I think it's stupid that they're the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was a joke and a half. That's a huge joke. They've made that a joke. They've thrown that thing away twice. So whoever wins this, it's just not going to mean nothing. It ain't going to mean jack shit. You have a fucking stupid-ass Intercontinental Championship ladder match that they just really much rehashed from last year. And no, this is stupid. Everyone says, well, the ladder match is going to deliver. This is stupid. This should have been a one-on-one match with Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. No, that's not the match I want. I mean with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I'm sorry. This should have been that match. That should have been the blow-off match for their feud from NXT. And the fact that they just threw away the fact that he pinned him on Raw was absolutely stupid. You have Zack Ryder, who has no business being in this match because he hasn't won a match on the main roster in like fucking 3 years. So he hasn't been relevant on the main roster since 2011. Actually, that's 4 years. No, 5 years. You have Sin Cara, who should be in a different match, which I'll get into that. You have the Miz. The Miz, I could see them doing a fatal 4-way with Owens, Miz, Zayn, and Ziggler. That match I would be fine with because that match would all tie in. But the fact that they're doing a ladder match is just absolutely crap. The fact that they don't have a lot of their top stars because of their hectic road schedule, stupid. Some of it isn't the road schedule. I'll give them that, because the accidents happen. You can't prevent injuries completely. But yeah, the hectic road schedule I think needs. If the whole road schedule wasn't so hectic, they would probably have their stars from WrestleMania. The Divas Championship Triple Threat match doesn't look too bad. I actually kind of haven't minded that feud. I just kind of wish they would have done more to hype that match up because these are the 4 horsemen on NXT. I wish they would just do more than just match to build that match up. I think they've been doing stuff for it on SmackDown, but I haven't watched SmackDown in a few weeks, so do it on Raw because more people watch Raw. Kalisto versus Ryback, what is that? You have Ryback that's a heel for no reason. You have Kalisto and Ryback. Let's be honest, if they had done something with this when Kalisto beat him in that tournament match back in November, I would understand. But you waited too long. You have Ryback, who's not even acting like a heel. I actually don't even know if this match will deliver. This match could absolutely, like I said, suck dick. So I don't think this match will deliver. I think this match is going to be boring. Kalisto, I think, will try his best, but he's going in there with a guy that, like Ryback, that should have been Kalisto versus Sin Cara turning heel. And that match would have been made sense. It would have delivered, and it would have been cool. Yep, this 10 Divas tag team match. That's an absolute joke and a half because they're trying to push Lana as a singles wrestler, but she absolutely sucks. You have Eva Marie in this match, which is just having Eva Marie in a match. I'm not being a hater, but that just kind of brings the profile of that match down. They sent her back down to NXT, but she's just absolute crap, and now they're trying to get her over as a face when everybody hates her. That's stupid. You have the Usos versus the Dudley Boys that they haven't really built up much at all. You didn't do anything with it on Raw this week. You just kind of threw it in there. And in theory, it should be good, like I talked about. But you have the Dudley Boys who don't even show up. We don't even see them some weeks. There's some weeks I forget they're under contract with the company. And yeah, like I talked about, I was dealing with a lot of drama and stress over the past since February. But still, this is the Dudley Boys. The fact that I can't remember that they're signed with the company, the best tag team that they have, is not my fault. You have the three main matches that they have that two of them have a problem. You have Shane McMahon, The Undertaker. It's cool to have Shane McMahon back and all, but it's like, why is Undertaker in this match? They've done nothing. This is more of a feud between Shane McMahon and Vince. They've done nothing to really make they've completely left The Undertaker out of the storyline. The fact that they just randomly threw out there that his career is going to be on the line and it's going to be his last WrestleMania. They just threw it out there. They didn't make it feel like a big deal at all. It's absolutely ridiculous. The fact that the WWE is pretty much admitting that they've sucked for years and they've done nothing about it, it's absolutely stupid. And I like the fact that they're saying everything that we've been saying, but in a way, we've been saying this stuff for years. You're acknowledging that you weren't good. I've never seen a company that does that before, where they've openly acknowledged, like, yeah, you should admit you suck, not on public live television, though. You should at least, not on your product. And this kind of breaks a lot of kayfabe laws, too, even though those have been broken for years, but still. And you have, either way, it's a lose-lose situation. Because I will admit, that. Because if Taker loses, it will be stupid. Because then we have to see the last match at Taker that was involved in a feud that had nothing to do with him. Then if Shane McMahon loses, what was the point of bringing him back? Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose has been fine. I don't think they should have brought the chainsaw maybe they shouldn't have brought the chainsaw into the equation. That probably would have been, nice, but I think that feud's been perfect. Nothing problem. I think they shouldn't have gone away from it for 2 weeks. That was stupid. I'm glad they went to this match because let's be honest, we were gonna get Bray fucking Wyatt, versus Brock Lesnar. They were gonna do that match instead, but they called the audible, and this was the right audible. So, no problems with that match. Triple H, Roman Reigns. I've talked about it. No one wants Roman Reigns to be champ. Roman Reigns has oh my gosh. Roman Reigns is not over. Roman Reigns sucks. Well, he doesn't suck, but he's just not the guy. They're trying to make him the guy, but he's just not the guy. He can't talk on the mic. He can't, the guy's Dean Ambrose. That's who it is. The guy is Dean Ambrose right now. He's the over guy in the company. He should be in this match. The fact that they went away from this feud for a while and had Triple H and Dean Ambrose have their own match at Roadblock was a dumb move because now everybody's gotten like the taste of Ambrose in a way winning the title, and now they don't. Now they've completely ruined that. The fact that they've just booked Roman Reigns so poorly from the Royal Rumble last year to now. The fact that they had him win the Rumble in the way that he did last year, and then what they had down at Mania, which needed to happen, and then the fact that he, had a random match feud with Bray Wyatt for months, and then the fact that he won the title for just 5 minutes and 15 seconds when you should have had him win the title, just his first title here. You've thrown it away so many times. You've taken it away from him so many times. He'll look like a badass one week, but then the next night he'll just come out and not do anything. It's just absolutely absurd, and stupid. So yeah. But that's my thoughts overall on WrestleMania. I'm really excited to go to the show. I'm got Periscope on my phone now, so if you have Periscope, and I'll try to take some Periscope footage. I'm actually taking footage of my trip here to Texas and posting it. I mean, I even have some photos on the Facebook page. So make sure to check that stuff out. So now I'm gonna actually do my predictions for WrestleMania. I've kind of gone through the matches already. So let me go through them again. We have three matches on the pre-show. I actually like the fact that they're putting the pre-show on TV, on ESPN, I believe they said. I believe that's what it says. Didn't say it, but I heard something that's going on like ESPN, which I think is pretty cool. And it's really nice for the WWE to do that. And we get the first match on the show. We have Kalisto versus Ryback in a singles match for the United States Championship, with Kalisto defending the title. Like I talked about before, this match could be bad, but the person I'm going to go with to win is going to be Kalisto. I think Ryback winning the title would just be stupid. I think Kalisto's the guy to hold the U.S. title right now. And I really want to see him and Sin Cara feud. If it can't be at WrestleMania, at least go into Extreme Rules. And I think you can do a lot more with Kalisto holding the U.S. title than Ryback. So, the Total Divas, which is Brie Bella, Natalya, Alicia Fox, and Eva Marie versus Team Bad and Blonde, which is Lana, Summer Rae, Naomi, Emma, and Tamina Snuka. In a 10-diva tag team match. So, I think that with the way they're going with this, is I think they're going to have Team Bad and Blonde win by Lana pinning Brie Bella, because I think that's the feud that's really escalated there. So I think Lana is going to pin Brie Bella in this match and win. So Team Bad and Blonde will win. We have the Usos versus the Dudley Boys in a tag team match. This is the final match on the pre-show. I actually think that the Usos are going to win. I think they're going to really put over the Usos in this match, and I think that makes sense to have them win. And the Dudley Boys have kind of been getting the upper hand on them every time they've come in contact with each other, so I think it makes sense to have the Usos go over. We have the 3-on-1 handicap match between the New Day versus the League of Nations. Have the New Day win. I think they're the better stable, they're more entertaining, and it would make sense for them to win. I think it would be stupid if you gave it to the League of Nations. Everyone would boo the crap out of that, and it would go over, and I'd vomit at that. So then we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It's a 20-man Battle Royal for the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy. The announced participants as of right now are Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, Big Show Kane, Tyler Breeze, Mark Henry, Jack Swagger, Fandango, Damian Sandow, Dalen Young, Connor, Victor, Goldust, and R-Truth. I'm going to pick three guys for this match, and the three guys I can see winning is Mark Henry, because I hear that this is going to be his last match at WrestleMania, and I really want to see him go out big. And in his hometown in Texas, I think it would be awesome if he actually won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, just as a thank you for everything that he's done. Because I actually legitimately think that Mark Henry, whether the people want to admit it or not, his presence is going to be missed in the wrestling business, whether they want to admit it or not. So I'm going to go with him. I'm either going to go, or I'm going to go Kane or Big Show. But those are the three guys I really see winning. I really hope that, in a way, I hope Big Show doesn't win it. That would be fine if Kane won it, and I'd be all down with Mark Henry win it. That's the main guy I want to win it, is Mark Henry, if you want me to be honest. We have AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. Since it's AJ Styles' first WrestleMania, I'm going to say that he's going to beat Chris Jericho here. And I think and I'd be all down and fine with that. I actually didn't really get to talk about, but their feud kind of hasn't been the best either. But in theory, it seems good, but they really kind of mixed it backwards. They should have been a tag team first with no match, and then they had the tag team match that they had on Raw instead with the New Day, but they have it at Fastlane, and the New Day wins and all that stuff. You know, the way they build it up, just push everything forward and stuff like that. But AJ Styles will win because it's his first WrestleMania. I think Jericho's going to put him over huge. We have the ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Kevin Owens defending the title against Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, Sin Cara, The Miz, and Stardust. I think I'm gonna pick two people for this match. The two people that make the most sense is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to retain his championship. I think they're gonna feud anyways post WrestleMania, and I think Sami Zayn, it would be a really cool moment if he won. And if I think Kevin Owens retaining would make sense as well because I think it would put him over huge as a huge dominant guy in the roster, and with the way they've been building him up lately, I think it would make sense. We have the triple threat match for the WWE Divas Championship with Charlotte defending the title against Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. They originally were planning on having Sasha Banks tap out Charlotte in a one-on-one equation and retain the Divas title. I'd be all down for that if Sasha Banks did that, and I think Sasha Banks is really over right now, and I think Sasha Banks is the best diva they have right now, so put the Divas Championship on her. And then we have the three main featured matches. We have Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell match, where if Shane wins, he will get control of Raw, and it will be Undertaker's last WrestleMania. Now, if you've been watching my video for the past month, you obviously know who I'm going to say. It's going to be the fucking Undertaker. Because, one, he's the Undertaker. He is the best guy they got going on in this business. And he's going to win because Undertaker is the best motherfucking wrestler in the world. And, you know, Shane McMahon's a joke compared to The Undertaker. The Undertaker has been undefeated for, he was undefeated for 21 years at WrestleMania. And you could say, well, Shane McMahon's undefeated, but Undertaker went back to 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 back WrestleManias and continuing being undefeated. And if Marissa C, who has a 4.0 GPA, takes a bunch of classes, is saying that the Undertaker was going to win, then you should believe her because. Who are we gonna even if I don't have a 4.0 GPA, she has a 4.0 GPA. You should listen to her. It's gonna really break James down. You don't want James to burn his jean jacket. I don't think you guys want that. Donald Trump, if he becomes president, then this match will be the reason for it. So I actually think that the Undertaker will win this match. And I just don't see him going out in a last match that has nothing to do with him. This match, in theory, should have been Taker versus Balor. Then you put Shane and Roman Reigns' corner. That would have worked better, like I talked about before. But the Undertaker will win. I hope he wins by hitting a super tombstone off the top rope onto the steel steps on Shane McMahon, and Shane McMahon gets stretched out. And I get to come on here, everyone, and be like, ha ha ha, motherfuckers, I told you. And my GPA will go up to a 5.6. Which that doesn't exist, but after this match, it will exist. So then we get Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman ringside in the no-holds-barred street fight. Now, the only logical way to go about this is you have Dean Ambrose win because he needs to win. This would really put him on the map. He needs that one big victory, and this would be that big victory. This will not make Brock Lesnar look weak at all if he loses. If they make Brock Lesnar look like a dominant force enough, and they have weapons in this match, so Dean Ambrose will be justified by saying, well, he used a bunch of weapons. You can always do something, and Brock Lesnar will still be Brock Lesnar. He'll still be a beast. And Dean Ambrose will really put him on the map, and this could put him into future contentionship for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So I think that would be awesome if Dean Ambrose won this match. Because even though it's not going to be winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, right now I think beating the guy that beat The Undertaker's undefeated streak is probably bigger than winning the title right now. I think that's huge. Not a lot of people beat Brock Lesnar. Not a lot of people... Brock Lesnar never loses on TV clean. So if Dean Ambrose wins this match, it would put him over huge. It would go over huge. It would go over awesome. And then we have the main event of the show, which I hope it kind of doesn't main event, with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match with Triple H and Roman Reigns in the No DQ match. I hope this match doesn't main event for a number of reasons, because if Roman Reigns wins, which he will, it will not go over well. He will get booed out of the building. And if Triple H, we know Triple H's history of main event in WrestleMania. It never delivers. That match never delivers. Some of it's not his fault, some of it is his fault. Anytime you have a main event with Triple H at WrestleMania, it doesn't deliver. I think it's just cursed like that, so I don't know if this is the best match to main event. I know Triple H can pull off main events, but if I was running a company and I know Triple H doesn't have a good history of delivering in the main event, I would main event Shane and Taker, just because of the fact that there's a lot of stake in that match and the future of the company pretty much is along the line. So that's the match that I would main event. But Roman Reigns, I think, is winning. He's not going to turn heel. He's just going to win, and everyone's going to hate it, and we're going to have to accept it at this point. Like I said, though, if they do enough, hopefully they'll do enough. Maybe they could do something to get Roman Reigns over like $1 million as a top babyface. And that's my predictions for WrestleMania. You know, I'm really happy I get to go to the show. I can't wait for it. I'm really stoked for going to the show. The one thing I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens to on Raw the next night, because I heard rumors that they have Kurt Angle, that he is possibly coming back to WWE. He's been having meetings with Triple H, and I think he confirmed it. So the night after WrestleMania would be the perfect time to bring him back. It would go over really well. I don't think Bobby Roode and Eric Young would debut. We have to wait and see on that. But that would be cool if they debuted the night after Raw. I'm trying to think of some call-ups from NXT. Depending on how the NXT Championship match goes between Finn Balor and Samoa Joe. If Finn Balor loses the NXT Championship, I'm going to say that he'll go up to the main roster. If Bayley loses her NXT Women's Championship, she'll go up to the main roster. I don't know if we're going to get a lot of call-ups in NXT. Like I talked about before, if they lose Finn Balor and Bayley right now, and because they already lost Sami Zayn, it would really hurt them. For returns, we could get Randy Orton returning. I hear he's on the prowls of returning. I hear Cesaro's going to return really soon. I do think the night after Raw could be an awesome show. But we have to wait and see on that one. I don't know what WWE is going to look like after WrestleMania 32. Because I feel like if this show does not go over well, it completely sucks, we could have a very bleak aftermath of WrestleMania 32. And if this show really goes over well, we still could have a really sucky aftermath to WrestleMania 32. But I think we could still have like a decent, solid aftermath of WrestleMania 32. So I don't know how this show is going to go over. I think just as a show itself, it's going to be a really good WrestleMania. The aftermath of WrestleMania, I don't know yet. We're going to have to wait and see. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy WrestleMania, whether you're watching it at home or live. And no matter how you're watching it at home, WWE Network, pay-per-view, streaming. And I really can't wait for this experience. I can't believe this is actually about to happen. I actually still kind of can't believe it. Like, once I got off the plane, I actually was kind of like, wow, this is really fucking happening. That's kind of when it really started to hit me, is right when I got off the plane. I think this WrestleMania really will, even though I'm going to be there live, my experience is going to be different, but I actually can't wait for this experience. And if I get a good experience out of this, I definitely will go next year. It's going to be in Florida, and Florida's another pretty easy place to get to, so I actually think Florida could work. So I hope they do something. You know who else could debut is the Bullet Club. Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. They could debut. I don't know about Carl Anderson, but Doc Gallows definitely could debut on the main roster. So don't count anything out. Don't count anything out after WrestleMania. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy WrestleMania, and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can see my review and what my experience was like for WrestleMania. So that's pretty much it, guys. I will talk to you all later.